So, what do we do now that Canada has been thwarted in its attempt to get a UN Security Council seat? Well, the first thing we should do is not immediately start doing it again. Justin Trudeau, when he was asked why did Canada fail to win this seat, he blamed it all on the timing. Said we started campaigning too late. How can that possibly be? We started in 2016 when Trudeau began the campaign. Well, apparently the other countries actually started not long after the last results happened back in 2010. They were campaigning then for 10 years. To campaign 10 years for a temporary seat that only lasts for 2 years. That's crazy. I mean, part of me thinks we could, build nuclear weapons on the sly. We'd do that in less than 10 years, and then we'd become a permanent member of the Security Council, because those are the permanent ones that have veto power, the nuclear weapons countries. I mean, come on. This is wild. Justin Trudeau, also by saying we did not campaign long enough, he's de facto doing his favorite game again, the favorite blame game of his, blame Stephen Harper. If it had to come before 2016, well, who was prime minister then? Stephen Harper, of course. So blaming him for the 2010 loss and then trying to find a way to blame him for the 2020 loss as well. But hold on a second. If this thing doesn't work for us, both under Stephen Harper and a decade later under Justin Trudeau, maybe it suggests that there's a problem with them, not so much a problem with us. Why do we even covet this in the first place? What are we going to use this for? Are we going to stand up for the things that matter to us? Because one of the major criticisms Trudeau rightly faced was that it seemed like he was willing to just play nice way too much on the world stage because he coveted this prize. Go along to get along on all of this, not saying things that will ruffle the feathers of other nations. We need to completely rethink how we approach some of these multilateral institutions. And I think it's a good thing that Donald Trump is the one world leader who's actually been forcing our hand on this and encouraging people to start thinking more critically about these multilateral institutions. Because, look, I think there's a place for them in terms of world leaders have to meet, they have to chat about the situation on the ground, they have to share best practices. You got to do that. You can't just live with your head in the sand. But what they are not, what they should not be, is these global decision-making bodies, which they are increasingly becoming, whether they're the Compact on Migration or the US Paris deal, the climate deal. We're being told that these things are voluntary and optional, but then we talk about them as if we're forced to bring them in, as if we have a gun to our head when we're looking at these provisions. Now, I think this is a perfect time right now when we're smarting from this snub from the UN that, well, we take a moment to reflect and really ask ourselves, what should our role in the UN be? And what do we want from them? Because now is the perfect time for reassessment.